Hello again, rail fans. It's Travis from RockRiverRails. Today is Saturday, December 6th, and today I am in Union Grove, Wisconsin at the Tri-County Model Railroad Club open house. So we're going to see what they're all about today here at the Tri-County Model Railroad Club. Check out their layout. I believe my buddy Kevin is going to be here as well, so probably going to meet up with him. Going to get some pictures and some video of their layout. So here we go. We're going to go inside now and check them out. So on the walk up to the main entrance, you'll notice how large the building actually is. And one of the members during the visit mentioned that the building was a former Piggly Wiggly grocery store. So we're going to head on inside. Before we do, we'll take a look at the Tri-County Model Railroad Club logo and sign that they have right outside the main entrance. And then our first look at the inside of the building. You can see it's quite a large layout. And our first looks at the layout here, a nice service station with an overpass and some vehicles. And then a shot of a water scene. The water is very realistic. And then a video of the same area. All the water scenes on this layout are extremely detailed, as you'll see throughout the video. So very realistic right out of the gate. The scenery is very realistic. The structures and buildings have weathering done to them. So very impressed right away with this layout. And then moving along here, we've got a road crew, a road construction crew, laying down some fresh asphalt. So dump trucks, some rollers, and so forth. And then a still shot of the road crew here. Continuing on, we go through a woods scene here with a highway running through it with some semi-trucks. And then a bridge over a river with some canoers or kayakers down below. You can even see the white caps on the water, so very realistic. The bridge has some graffiti on it. Definitely what you would see in the real world. And this whole layout has active signals as well that work. Moving along, a real nice house here with another overpass. And then a look down the rest of the layout in this direction with a lot of active green signals. And then some still shots of the semi-trucks going through the wood scene. I really like that one there. And then a shot of the bridge. And then some miscellaneous vehicles and semi-trucks. This is one of my favorite buildings on the entire layout with that color and detail there. And then this was very cool as well. They have a drive-in movie theater. And it was actually playing a movie during our visit. So we're going to pan along this section here with some video. The grade crossings are very realistic. A lot of layouts come out short when it comes to grade crossings and the way that they integrate the road over the crossing, but that's extremely realistic here. And then you can even see the movie playing in the background at the drive-in movie theater. And then we have a wildfire there, it looks like. And there's my buddy Kevin giving us a hard time. Very realistic on the wildfire scene and the fire trucks. And then another shot here of the drive-in movie theater. One of my favorite parts on the layout. So after that train ran by, we're going to continue on. Another view here of the forest fire scene. Very realistic. Looks like how it would in real life. And then those fire trucks back there, the water trucks. And it doesn't look like the wildfire reached the town here. So the town was spared, it looks like. Which is good news because this church and cathedral is also one of my favorite parts of this entire layout. Just extreme attention to detail on that cathedral. And then we've got an interlocking tower here with some switching going on. We've got some trains in the siding. And then a Southern Pacific freight train here, round in the corner. And then a nice still picture of the forest fire area with the water trucks. A picture of the church and cathedral. And then another angle of that as well. So very realistic scenery. The interlocking tower here. And then we start merging into the actual city part of the layout. And there's our SP train round in the bend. All right, so getting into the city part of the layout now with some high-rises. Look at that attention to detail here on the road and the general store. We've got a road crew here finishing the overpass. And then some video of this section here as well. So lots of LED lighting going on with the street lights, the buildings, the signals. Lighting going on inside of some of the buildings. You can see it looking through the windows. And then here we have a Milwaukee Road passenger station with a nice clock tower there. And then a passenger station or platform here with a lot of passengers on the platform. And another overpass with city scenery in the background. And then in the background there, we also have another fire scene we'll take a look at here in a moment. And a look further on down this section along the back wall of the layout. So now some close-up pictures of the city. You can see it's a busy city, looks like a theater there or something, and then the Milwaukee Road Union Station. Very detailed with the clock tower, adds a really nice touch. And then looks like a skyscraper being built in the background there with some cranes. So a nice view of how high that extends. So we've got the Hello Kitty train there with some graffitied hoppers. Very nice detail on those. And then looking at the passenger platform, some of the buildings, a thrift store. So, and then here is our fire scene. So they had another fire in town, it looks like. This time it did get to one of the buildings, or a few of them it looks like there. And then various industry here with some storage tanks. Nice weathering on the tanks and the building. Nice ballast work on this layout as well. And then the buildings are phenomenal with the color and attention to detail. So moving along this section here, we'll do a flyover with some video. You can see all the active signals, add a really nice touch. They're extremely bright. Looks like we've got another interlocking tower there, I think. And then moving along, we get into a very large steel mill facility. Also, one of my favorite parts on this layout is this steel mill. It's just extremely detailed. They've got a lot going on inside this first building here. We'll get some close-ups as well of that. But just a lot going on here. And looks like no stone goes unturned with the weathering. As you can see on the tank here, all the rust. So all the buildings definitely have nice weathering. So that was actually Kevin's train that just passed. And after that passed, we'll take a look here at the steel mill facility. You can take a look inside here. There's lighting, workers performing various tasks, and a lot going on inside that building there. And the actual steel mill itself here, with those liquid metal cars down below on the tracks, and a nice close-up of the steel mill facility. And some power stations moving along next to the steel mill. And the construction facility here is very nice as well, with something being built with a full-on construction crew. And then here we have a prison, which is very detailed as well. And then some video of this area here with the two construction scenes. Got cement trucks, cranes, scaffolding, workers, and then some industry buildings here with industry spurs. We've got the Burp Brewing Company. Also one of my favorite parts of this layout. So they have an extreme attention to detail on this layout here at the Tri-County Model Railroad Club. And again, even the backdrops fit the scenes very well. And then some close-up pictures here of the construction scenes. And the Burp Brewing Company with various breweries on tap. And then some Santa Fe power here, some war bonnets and blue bonnets, the Santa Fe cabooses. And then we've got a yard here with various things going on. So I'm not sure if this is a block switching yard, because we've got manifest rolling stocks here. We've got intermodal stuff going on with various lift applications. So it looks like some sort of block switching yard. And then various construction projects going on as well. And then we have the Tri-County Model Railroad Club power units here. So one of their own locomotives. It's done up in an orange paint scheme. And then a flyover of this section of the layout. So the layout seems to basically do 180 turns. You've got that long straight in the back with the steel mill. And then we start getting into 180 degree turns here. We've got a really nice roundhouse facility with a turntable, which makes that 180 degree curve here in this section. So various things going on here. Looks like a coaling tower there. We've got various rolling stock. Maybe some sort of industry building here, it looks like, or maintenance of way facility. And then the actual roundhouse itself here with the 180 degree radius turn. And then just look at these buildings here and the extreme attention to detail and realism. So there we caught a Iron Range ore car train with empties making the bend. And we'll move along here. Looks like we've got a cement mixing facility and an overhead shot of this whole section of the layout with various Herzog maintenance of way going on here. And then a really nice building with the Tri-County logo. So they have their logo displayed, which is very important. So very cool logo. You see it numerous times within the layout. And then moving along here, we've got various power and rolling stock. And then we're getting into, looks like a grain facility over here. And we'll do a flyover video of this section as well. So some sort of grain operations going on here. I really like this Cargill section that's coming up into view now. Lots of Cargill trucks. So some sort of Cargill facility. I really like that Cargill green. It really catches your eye. And then we move into some grain towers here, it looks like. Very nice weathering on those as well. Looks like an ADM and Quaker Oats facility. So the Cargill, ADM, Quaker Oats facility. I'm going to take a picture here of the Cargill tractors and trailers, the ADM, and the Quaker state. So moving along from the Quaker Mills grain facility, we have some Iron Range power here. Duluth, Mesabi, and Iron Range. The DMIR. And then we've got the Union Casting Company facility. And then some sort of either ballast or coal operations going on there, it looks like. Ajax Machine Shop. And then we've got a Heinz facility along with some sort of a power substation. So a nice flyover video pan of this section of the layout. I really like how the layout isn't too busy. There's a lot going on within it, but sometimes some layouts can get too busy with vehicles or just a lot going on. This one is a really nice, even mix of a lot of industry, and then you get back into the scenery, into the wilderness. And then here's some iron ore cars, it looks like. A lot of the Iron Range is incorporated into this layout, including this facility here along the really nice hillside. I really like this building as well. Very nice detail in the colors and the weathering on the building, and even the nature scenery, just very impressive. And then again, this section of the layout, a 180-degree turn at the end. And then back into, looks like a passenger depot. And then some other sort of facilities here in the countryside with a couple bridges. And some Burlington logging cars there with some logging going on. And then a nice video pan of this section here with some rolling hills and some trees and some highline power towers there for high voltage electricity. And then this section here looks like is under construction currently, but they do have some pictures of what they're intending to do once this section is completed. So you can kind of see that foam there. That's how it starts, and then they carve that foam into what you kind of see here with the limestone cutouts and the rock. And then here we have a nice tile facility, and we'll take a look at that in a sec. We're going to look first here at the under construction part of the layout, and then we'll move on to the tile facility in just a second. And then here is the Tileworks facility with some outdoor ovens, it looks like. So very realistic there. And then some sort of either home or shop. It looks like it's actually an outdoor store. And then we have another really nice Starman's Spindles facility here. One of my favorite buildings on the layout, as well as this one as well. Very detailed. The outside of that building and the roof, very detailed with the colors, are very sharp, very impressive. And then here we have a Seaboard System road railer train. It's got some Triple Crown road railers, some Swift road railers. I believe it also has some mechanical reefers on it as well. So I'm a big fan of the road railers, and that was pretty impressive. And then here we have a Christmas train with a Polar Express car and a Christmas themed caboose. And then an overhead shot of this section here with the Christmas train. And then a mobile gas fuel farm. I really like that as well. And then again here we have my friend Kevin's train rolling by now. So again, that was my friend Kevin's train. I believe he just picked up all 3 of those units recently. And then moving along here, we've got a water tower. And then some sort of little small depot, it looks like, I think, or a general store. And then we've got a small engine repair service shop in the background. I really liked all these buildings here. Looks like a small little diner. And then we've got a Southern Pacific freight train passing by the diner here. And then another curve going to get us 180 degrees in the other direction now. So then again here we've got some city scenery, a fire station, a mobile gas station, autos, car parts, and various other stores. And then we will take a video here of this section. The fire trucks coming out of the fire station do have their lights flashing. That adds a very nice realistic touch. The gas station is lit up along with the various street lights and buildings. So lots of lighting. The streets are very realistic here. Again, another overpass with the main line running below, I think. And then another grain facility, I think it is, in the background there. And then here we have a JB Truck Center. Looks like a Freightliner and Kenworth service facility. And then even the truck up on the sign is rotating, so Very nice touch there. And then a still shot of the facility as well. And then we've got Risley Grain Facility here with some Tri-County Model Railroad. Looks like some grain hoppers then, I'm assuming, being outside the grain facility. Looks like for their 50th anniversary. And then we've got another 180-degree radius turn here. Going to do a flyover of some various industry. Not sure what that back left one is. I know this one here is some sort of paper facility, so maybe it's all incorporated together, which seems to be the case here. And then we've got our, looks like our ore cars, our Iron Range ore cars are empty still, like we saw earlier, making various movements in this section of the layout. And then we've got some lumber industry here. Very nice touch. So there's our Iron Range power with our empty Iron Range ore cars in the background. And then various pictures of the paper facility. Looks like an ADM paper facility. McCray paper, it says, with various Sioux line switchers out front, with some tank cars, it looks like there. And then some more ore cars. And then a nice shot of the McCray paper facility here with the Sioux line switchers. And then various trucks, some Sioux line gondolas, and then here we have our lumber industry. Very realistic lumber there as well. And then we've got a Sioux line switcher making some movement with our empty ore cars over a really nice bridge. Those retaining walls, very nice touch on the stonework with the various colors. And then we've got another interlocking tower here with another switcher, it looks like, below. And then some pictures of this section here. I really like that interlocking tower. And then the paintwork on the bridge. Again, in the background, the stonework is incredible. That retaining wall there, very nice touch. So, no lack of attention to detail on this layout here at the Tri-County Model Railroad Club. So moving along, we still have our ore cars making various movements. We've got tunnels below, and then getting into a new industry and another 180-degree turn. So it looks like a little coaling tower there, if I had to guess, and then maybe some maintenance away facilities. And then this next section we'll be getting into is looks like a rock quarry, which is quite impressive. So we've got some switching movements going on here with the Sioux switcher, and the rock quarry in the background might have been one of the top 5 things for me on this layout. It was just very impressive. The attention to detail in the quarry with the trucks, the trestle bridge there, and the tunnel work. I really enjoyed this section of the layout. And then as you can see here, it looks like the rock conveyor belts are actually moving rock. So very impressive there. A lot going on this section. And then we take a look here at a river that runs along the the tracks here. But before we move on there, we'll take some pictures of the rock quarry. It looks like the real world would, so I really spent a lot of time on this section of the layout, just taking it all in. Very impressive. And again, a picture here of the conveyor belts. It looks like they're actually moving rock. And then it looks like some sort of cement facility going along with the rock quarry. And then we've got some various river barges here. It looks like some maintenance away or construction equipment. And then we've got a tugboat or barge here with, again, white caps and real wakes coming off of the boats. So very realistic with the water. They did a really nice job with their water scenery on this layout. And then it looks like some coal barges being pulled by the tugboat. In some sort of river or canal, it looks like. And then in the background here, we have a BNSF manifest train, it looks like, making its way through this part of the layout. I really like this river or canal scene here. The boats add a really nice touch. And then again, the buildings and scenery, very well done. We've got some more barges here. Looks like a little fuel farm with some tankers. And then a look further on down the layout. Going to roll some more pictures. We've got United Petroleum here. So some sort of oil or gas facility. And another shot of that from the side. And then again, Kevin's train passing by, meeting with the Southern Pacific Manifest, going by some farm industry in this section of the layout. I'm not sure if the signals actually change. I didn't catch it in the video, and I didn't pay attention enough, but either way, the signals are a very nice touch. And then we've got some livestock here in a livestock facility. And then some sort of co-op elevator here for grain, probably. And then a Sinclair station in the background. And looks like a depot here with a Western Union in it. More Sinclair. We've got a diner in the background, various service stations. This kind of reminded me of some cranberry fields. I'm not exactly sure what that is. And then we've got a country club with a golf course. And then moving along, another 180-degree turn here. So they really utilize a lot of their layout here. So with all these turns back and forth, they can get a lot of different industries. This one here has a really nice straight incorporated into the turn. And then we've got a really nice farm here. The silo, the top of the barn itself, the whole farm scene. Just continuing on with the realism and attention to detail here. So even the dirt and gravel and ballast is spot on. Another shot of the farm and farmhouse. And then we start moving into some city industry again. So various lights, various high-rises and buildings and general stores as we take a look around. And then another 180-degree bend. And then we'll start getting into probably my favorite part of this layout. If I had to just choose one, it would be this iron ore facility. So Very realistic with the ship, the iron ore boat, the iron ore cars. So I'm assuming this is going after the Iron Range up in Minnesota, up in the Duluth area. I'm assuming that's what they're incorporating here, is the Duluth, Mesabi, and Iron Range. So this is definitely my favorite part of the layout if I had to choose one. And then this is actually the beginning where we started there in the corner. So they've got a lighthouse here, very realistic, very nice touch there to go along with the iron ore ship. And then just a pan across the whole facility in this main room here. I'm not sure if they share the building with anyone else, but this is a very large room. It's a very large layout. So very well done on the layout itself, taking advantage of all the room that they have. And then we'll take a look here at some more pictures. We got a mobile gas station there with some living areas, another depot, general stores. Looks like they've got a like a park here with a steam engine on display. City hall, police station, fire trucks. Here's another fire department, another drive-in. The buildings themselves are really well done, along with the various vehicles. Water towers here, cemetery. We've got Deuce's bike shop. I'm assuming a motorcycle shop. Very nice detail there. We've got some diamonds with another interlocking tower. And then it looks like an apple orchard or some sort of apple store. Then we got the Tri-County Feeds, Seed, and Grain facility there with some tractors on some flat cars. Very well done, incorporating their layout name into the scenery as well. Here we've got someone pulled over and being questioned by the police. And then looks like a roadside diner here or a roadside truck stop. And then various industry as well moving along. So very nicely done. We've got a maintenance of way facility here, it looks like. More ore cars being staged for the ore facility and loading docks. And then it looks like a C&W crew office here. And then a still shot of my favorite part, the iron ore loading dock facility. A picture of the lighthouse, which is very nicely done. And then they've got various things hanging along the walls within the facility. Maps of the layouts. They've got some plaques in memory of former members, it looks like. They've got a schematic here, a schematic diagram of the layout itself. Some real-life Iron Range pictures. So a very nice touch there. And then I've got some more pictures here of Union Pacific steam engine. So steam locomotive. And then they've got some really nice locomotives and rolling stock on display on these cases here on the wall. Kevin was telling me this is either the president or vice president or someone high up within the club. This is all their rolling stock and locomotives. So very nicely done on the graffiti and the weathering on these cars and locomotives. It adds a really nice touch having these on display. I really like this Superman hopper. And then here you've got some Mighty Mouse graffiti and some log cars below. You got Marvin the Martian graffiti on some hoppers. A few Marvin the Martian graffitis, which are extremely well done. And then looks like we've got an EMD Army themed locomotive. BNSF 25th anniversary sticker unit. So I really like those BNSF anniversary sticker units. It's kind of their tribute locomotives with just some sticker details for their fallen flag predecessors. And then we've got some DOD flats here. We've got the Denver and Rio Grande flats with some military. And then just a still shot here of the outside of the facility. So that is the Tri-County Model Railroad Club in Union Grove, Wisconsin. So I hope you enjoyed the in-depth look at their layout here at the Tri-County Model Railroad Club. I would like to thank them for hosting the open house. I really enjoy seeing different model railroad clubs. So I really enjoy clubs having open houses like this. So thank you to the Tri-County Model Railroad Club for hosting the public for this visit today. And then I would like to thank you, the viewers, for watching. If you haven't yet, subscribe to our channel, RockRiverRails on YouTube. Definitely give the video a like. Leave us a comment with your thoughts on the video. What did you think of the layout? Did you like it? Did you not like it? What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? Definitely leave us your comments. And again, we appreciate you tuning in. We'll catch you next time, and I hope you guys all have a great Christmas and New Year. And again, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.